Yes, I can make one long video, but I'm making a bunch of long videos. Try not to string them out in one day. I know on the weekends people do not watch it as much. There's less views, but I think it's like you go and spend time with people on the weekends, right? Most likely you're a narcissist, maybe, and then get back on YouTube because you want some therapy, you want some information. Like, did I just see that? And a lot of times, isn't it trippy how the computer will show you, yeah, you just saw that. And I'm not talking about how they spy on you and listen to your conversation. I'm talking about if you have a curiosity silent and you get on the computer. I don't know about you, but that's what happened to me. And all my curiosities was like, oh, yep. Oh, it's just confirmation, babes. Don't ever use it to think that you're going to get information off of it. You have to have a confirmation. Really, your question is actually the answer. You're just waiting for confirmation. Remember that. What has happened here? I'm trying to erase some things. Otherwise, they won't let me do a lot of things. But, well, we're heading towards first of all, we're all exhausted from a lot of what has happened already with, you can say astrology, but we'll put it into layman's terms, Shauna. What is it really? Well, what is this astrology stuff talking about? And stuff, and it's like, well, gosh, I have been downloaded with information that I would love to be able to share, and I am. I'm going to go ahead and do it, Um, because why? Well, we don't have any choice if we're healthy enough, we're going to buzz with this electrical current and get it through us as, you notice the word generation. Well, through generations we do this, babes. And it's nothing that you think. It's not nothing that the bricklayer thinks out there. Yeah, you know. As far as like, well, yeah, some people would say that the spiritual life is most important. If your spiritual life is together, then every bit of pardon me, your chair, fucking thing. I think you wouldn't even have these bodies if we had our spiritual lives together. But let's get back to like maybe there are people like that, and they're funny, especially in the West here. It's like, do you notice that we have to throw all of our chairs away? They are absolutely. If you really want to know, look at China, someplace over there. They're pretty smart. They already figured it out a long time ago. They're like, if we don't change this, it's a generation. Somebody just said, fucking, they generated a chair that we don't. Oh, pardon me, I love me. I'm funny. What's the look? Well, we have this Mars square Pluto and then the Venus square, like Saturn coming up. We're like getting ready for it. It's 10 days away, and I keep talking about it, but no. The Saturn square Venus is happening today, so I'm happy to give it's it's tomorrow on the 8th, so I'll put it on the 8th. Happy to give comedy relief, but I was trying to make a point about spirituality being number one, otherwise you couldn't have good comedy. Because what makes good comedy? Truth makes the good comedy. The best. Best in the West. Good old down home, raw, real live truth. Just like George Carlin did. He's like, you know what, I've got to spruce up my act. And then he just said, he was kind of hitting a dead end. Trying to please maybe some kind of audience, wearing neckties, perhaps, and he just was like, I got to figure out how to make some money here, really. And boy, it's not funny anymore. They don't have Any really, do they have good comedians out there? I mean, wow, did you notice how a lot of them, I mean, if you really reflect on it, it's a good conversation to have during all of the Gemini planets. Comedians, it rules all of the animations that they do, you know, really. It's a form of political um, acclimatization, or what I mean is, yeah, maybe. So let's do it. Who speaks for the other team? You know, you got the necktie team, and then who else? Sorry, I'm supposed to do stand-up comedy a long time ago, but now it's just gonna be sit-down comedy, especially. You know, that's not even my joke. I don't want to tell you. I have some pretty good comedian friends, and that's one of the truths. Is like if you wait too long, babes, you're gonna be a sit-down comedian, not a stand-up comedy. And you know, by the time you're 90, you know you're going to be sitting down. But at least it'll be funny as hell. Just tell the down-home truth in such a way, not like me. You know, I've been going through some stress to where it's like I've been trying to be funny as hell, but it's just coming through this dry, totally stressed out. You couldn't tell that the whole, like, out of just 1,500 videos, one huge joke, and it's like, very little laughter going on. Awkward. Thanks to Neptune over there opposing my Venus, which is not a bad thing. The opposition is not a bad thing. It creates just a passageway for, like, the whole spectrum to be infused as one, like, you know, the polarity, and if there's isn't anything more shamanic than that, then I don't know how to describe it. Really, that's what shamans are up to, is just kind of embracing both positive and negative charges. That's why we look kind of like both men and women. Comment section down below. Getting back to just talking, you know, I don't know why this is not erasing. I'm trying to erase some things. I guess it's because I'm recording, but I've done it before without recording. With recording. Sorry, we couldn't delete this item. Why? Why?
Where I live
no.
is a small community.
Sometimes I have to just reset the computer. You know how your phone will just start doing something weird. I learned a little jig. I had to look it up on YouTube, right? You know, this is very Gemini to talk about communicating, about how to communicate, to fix our communicators with the communications. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? We're all losing our speech because of brain damage from the EMF waves. So just throw that in. You know, I do have radiation poisoning, so just letting you know. You know, I do manage symptoms from that, and everybody is pretty soon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Elon Musk's satellites are indeed here to do that for us, kids. They can do targeting, individual targeting. That's one of the things that we wanted to warn you about, and we did. We tried to. It's here. I mean, you can look it up. It's all of the stuff that they are using is very much patented and already highly experimented, used. What I mean is fully in operation now. It's out of the blueprints, but the wars of the past, World War II, is any war, is the stomping grounds, or more like just the experimental grounds for the latest weaponry that they will be converting into, I was going to say livingry, but it's not livingry if it's, later on it definitely can and will be, as far as how, and they're already coming up with some things, but it's very gimmickry, it's just a little bit of the counteraction, it's a little bit of the enemy, I mean, the See, there's the massive strength in numbers clan running for money, which is really like, who cares who we work for, right? Let's just do it because it makes a lot of money. Like, if you make, it's a big be careful. As much as you are taken care of, I mean, if you're really taken care of and you have the comfiest zone from that, most likely you are working for a warlord that is doing this thing. Are you setting up Gwyn Towers? Are you just managing the Gwyn Towers? What are you, a billing for the Gwyn Towers? I don't know, but all of that needs occupation, right? All of that needs people. And the main thing is just, with that, how that they would conduct it through cognitive dissonance. Everybody thinks they're doing one thing, but really another thing is happening. Because, well, and they don't see the result or anything, like really the side effects and stuff. I mean, it's just not out there. I mean, you can look for it and it's there. Like I said, the patents sorry, are here. Tesla talked about it. It's all Tesla's technology, by the way. He's the one. He is an inventor. You know who has stutter problems sometimes is the air signs, Gemini, especially Mercury, conjunct Uranus. Or think of the Mercury in Gemini right now, who is like, are you really going to try and say it, or are you just going to go? But really, we have to communicate. It's very important. So some people are doing a head start for us, and we can look for it. We need to definitely just reach in the. I was talking about generations. What our responsibility is to at least carry on what generations before us were trying to relay, even if it is something like, well, do LSD and mushrooms and marijuana instead of like smoking cigarettes, religion, and alcohol. Okay, please. And then also, we're just only trying to really seriously, At one point, I mean, this is not a good video. Now, how many dislikes am I going to get? See, if you can figure, I have 399 subscribers. No likes, by the way, but if they hang on after this video, I mean, really, I have already cut down with some weird videos that would come after a great video. See, I know what I'm doing there as a scientist. Just toughening up my crowd, man. The ones that stick around, they are hearty as hell. They probably did the ayahuasca and went to the, shaman, or they're doing the microdosing with the mushrooms. But I don't suggest microdosing. I don't get it. I say just do one mega dose. Make sure there's a guide there. That's all you need. Figure out what do you want to accomplish with your addiction, or this or that. Mushrooms can help people with heavy-duty addictions. I think it has to be a certain kind of mushroom for the person, and they have to have that intention. Really, they have to feel the problem of their addiction, and then they go for a medicinal healing. And there's a guide there, and who knows what happens? They just kind of start playing when they start frying. Really, what's happening with the mushrooms is mushrooms are so beautiful. I was turning into a natural guide when I had the tools to do it, and it was just happening. Kind of, that was another, at least a decade ago or so, but it was interesting. Like this goes somewhere. Well, for me, it might be a little bit awkward at times while the Gemini squares my Jupiter, and then it's going to square my Venus. So that is awkward. I'm telling you, when something squares your Venus, let alone if you really knew the mutable squares, it's like, that's funky awkward, baby. Oh, come on. So anyway, yes, the squares will be happening, right about the same time there to my Venus. Venus will be squaring this my Venus and the Sun will be square my Venus, and we have Mars going into Aries pretty soon here on the 9th, 10th, which is going to square Pluto, you guys. Now, I would advise you right now to just start practicing radical self-care, recede away from people that are petty and that need an energetic feed, because you know that there are people that are masking as being human beings, but they're not, and they want an energetic draw from the human being. And there is a cure for those people, but right now it's just a big mix-up because, well, really, do they want a cure? You know, we can talk about cures all day, but do they want a cure? Like, say, it's in the air right now that we would find cures for everything right now with the Gemini planets and the Jupiter trining. See, it's all trining Pluto, all the Gemini planets, and it's very, very helpful for us all. You know, it's nothing but good. We are feeling some really amazing stuff with Mercury in Gemini. It goes so quick. There's a reason why. It's because there is so much kinetic energy in the air. If you can really dial in, so you don't need to have much interaction. It's important to get on this thing, because this, if you really think about it, it's like, well, maybe you can't get around much, you know, but really, like, well, see, if you really wanted to get a hold of your community and say, well, yeah, I need them. Don't be a narcissist and say, I need a grape dish, but more like we should be hooking up and just creating a cog of a billowing abundance, you know. I just, having said this, babe, you're looking at somebody who feels very disconnected, and I think it's because I'm just gonna just kind of fade in, like pop in, like it's like, babes, come on, what are we doing? And other people need, the whole world needs this kind of thing, and I'm calling it organization, but to be clear, it's already here. There are people that now, through resonation, which is communication. You have to communicate. You have to do a vibrational frequency, and that's communications, babes. And see, I don't know about you, but I can't hear a politician talk. I can't hear a politician talk, and some people that are completely. It's so strange that, you know, you wonder what's their conversation, and I can't hear people. I don't like to hear a salesman, right? You know, these people think that they're real and that they have something for us to do and they're contributing to what? And I get it that you have found a way to work that system of something. See, what the way I'm being just kind of really hot and heavy with it is what's needed for just there's just a very glimmer, a trickle, because things are going to start radically changing, and we don't know how it's going to end up, but in 20 years is when we'll see what is the result of the generations that brought from the past generations something, something. You know, see, there's two sides. You know about the split and two sides. It's not any different than what we were kind of trying to poke at now. And just imagine that's kind of side by side, and I don't think that they should be side by side. After a while, I just don't think so. Why? See, that's where we have a mix-up. That's where we have just a joke being played on who? Well, it would be the China versus the elephant as far as the shop. You know, who are you? You know, you have the village, and then you have the pillager. The pillagers that come in. And it just seems like what has come in into the rural areas, like what's going on? Like why? Why can't it slow down and be more communal? Which it actually means just communications, babes. Community. It's pointing at communications. If you don't have a community if people aren't interacting communicatively. Commune. Okay, so communion. Same thing, but it's a higher. It's understood higher in the rank of spirituality. It's a very much like ashram. Vibrational frequency. Thanks for listening to this. Just looking at the planets here, feeling the planets. I love the way it feels. You know. It's just like it's really a great time to pull through by communications. And if you think see, because there's a lot of impossibleness in the air, it's really heavy duty. But there's these little elves or something, or little workers, that's the Gemini planets, and that's really this Mercury in Gemini that trips me out. That when it hits Saturn, okay, Mercury's going to hit Saturn on the 12th, and so Venus is hitting Saturn now. And if you're a Venus-ruled person, which I know a Venus-ruled person, that's Libra rising, hello, you're feeling this Venus square Saturn, and it's like you feel most likely your heart has been gouged with an ice pick, and now you're trying to wrap it up with a gauze, and you're like, all that. Well, hang in there, babe. It's gonna pass. This is the worst day. What day is it? Oh, it's coming up here tomorrow. But it's been coming on, so you want to give aspects 3 days on and 3 days off. So 3 days on is from the 5th, and then we've got the 8th when it hits slams today, which I'll put this video up for you today, and then 3 off of there. And the thing about your Venus transit as a Venus person, and then if it's actually, see, that's a trigger. It's definitely happening for everybody who has the middle degree. Now it doesn't have to be a specific sign if you're a Venetian person, is my point. That's where it's really vibrating the Venus people and the love lives of everybody. And just some people are more lover oriented and heart oriented than others, and they will really feel. I mean, it's not that they're more so, it's just probably they have more difficulty with it, and when this stuff happens here, it's it's a challenge. And it's actually what it's meant to do is talk about that vibration that will happen. What is chicken shit, what is not nourishing, what is not working, what you have been fooling yourself over is just going to drop. And you have to be careful of that, though, because if you are born as a Venus square Saturn, you're working too hard for in the name of love. And see, the fact about love, let's talk about it, is that it's the same as saying God, babes. Do people know what God is? Come on now. It is. It's the same as saying God. But it's not impossible, babes. It's the only thing that's possible. It's why we have everything here in the universe. But it seems that this is a place of heavy duty forgetfulness, and the only thing to do really is to start like substantial. Like we're doing something, is to flunk the test completely. As far as what to do here. Whatever you do, if you don't do it with love behind it, it is a complete waste. Yeah. if there's just a smidgen of love behind it, it's not a waste. But if there isn't any at all, it's there isn't anything worth. I mean, it's there, and a lot now. Let's talk about 80%. Now we're talking about that we don't know God. Narcissists don't know God. This is just words, babe, and we wish that they knew what they were talking about when they open their mouth. But now let's get back to that conversation that only political people or money people can speak. I mean, I hate to put down, not putting down on people that are sacrificing themselves to make the system work for their families and stuff. But a lot is changing, and it just seems unfair to put one person in charge of one a whole bunch of people, like how that went on, and the main figure is the man. It's looking very strange. We can get into this conversation and take 9 hours to just try to explain what it looked like, but like at the beginning of the show here, pardon my how I seem exhausted. I've been exhausted for it seems about a year and a half now, or yeah, I've been noticing energy. Um, it's when you are handling something that people can do that to you if they're asking a lot of you and you're just giving to them, and giving and giving and giving. The thing about the ARiEs and the human organism in general is that they are the energy wells. I mean, right off, it's the superhero that just goes, that really shows that they go ching, like Popeye eating spinach, and then it rules those kinds of people. The athlete, you look at the statistics of people climbing rocks and doing things that it takes a lot of courage, bravery, willpower. 110% athletes, the soldiers, war generals, people that win, that, not just people that lose. Okay. Um, it's the show of that. That you look at the statistic, who's doing that? ARiEs. You get a big book of get all the athletes, the famous athletes put together, and you can bet that there's ARiEs in there, like prominent. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. Just storytelling, and really feeling these times of, in fact, very magical time to get things done. What you need to learn, maybe, and see, my generation may or may not know this, but I know we can know this. See, to how to I was see, because the organization that's not together yet but needs to be recognized. Otherwise, it's just strength in numbers. Needs to find a way to start vibrating the airwaves just like they do. See, but they have a stronghold that's very trippy. And just stay tuned. What is Sean talking about? Well, we're going to be able to explain more so that the layman can start understanding how to change the vibrational frequency and to start causing resonation through communication. Now, resonation is what happens when you hit the truth on the nail on the head. And we can talk about this more. See, just joy is the key. That's how you know that you're on the track of your truth, like what you need, and stuff like that. But in general, for everybody, see, this is how you can get people inside of classes, I guess, and you can have a collective learning with something real, though. That's why, it's exciting to see small children going out of their school, right? They go on a field trip, and they're all engaging in something that is very much what I had just described. It's just that the truth is the same for everybody. And, well, you know, a lot of people see there's so many truths here. This is where astrology comes in. And more like, this is where your ability to look deeper into subject matter, especially people, relationships, people, personalities, but everything really, and notice the different colors, the possibilities within that, the characters, how everybody is not the same. See, it would be ridiculous if that was the truth. And then, see, narcissists want everybody to be the same. So, but anyway, and they want the one person to always be the same all the time, you know. And it's like, well, no. There's something of the vibrational frequency that will always be there, which is their core essence, which narcissists don't have that. That's what the problem is with it. It's very touchy for me. I don't want to talk about it, but if they've ruined your life, why not talk about it? Well, you want people, you want, pardon me while I'm trying to get comfy on my chair. Man, send me some money so I can get a nice chair. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to tell you about this. I knew I let so much out. Sorry about that. Love you. Specifically you. Who, you know, life is short, and we take time with each other. We take time with ourselves. We talk. We try and figure something out here, more than just how they kick us in the ass, right, and get us running down the chutes and ladders or up and down it, and you forget, you know, I'm not going to forget. See, my generation, who's going to do it but me? I'm like, wow, really, we have to um, bring back the Be Here Now book by Baba Ram Dass. This is the original Be Here Now book. And it's really cool. The reason why it's written on so many different pages, different color pages, what I mean is different style pages. This is a different grain page than this. Sorry, can you see it? This is a different grain page than this. Because, well, first of all, that's how he wrote the book. It's on everything. And anyway, here's the different color page in the back. And let's look at some of the stuff here. You can use it as like a tarot throw and just go, what are we going to learn today, folks? See, that's probably what I'll do and say, okay, today, how do you like the picture? Can you read it yourself? Because I don't want to. I'm kind of tired right now. All right. I'll probably start doing this from the Be Here Now book because we have to generate it, you know, and keep it coming back. When you meet a being who is centered, you always know it. You always feel a kind of calm emanation. It always touches you in that place where you feel calm. But you can't hustle it. You can't make believe you're calm when you're not. It never works. Everybody knows you know it's horrible. You must center, find that place inside yourself. You're doing it from that place. And whatever your dance is, always right in here, right in your heart. Hridayam. Hridayam means heart. If you can thumb through this whole book, which nobody probably can, and I have one of the books. I mean, I don't know how many were printed. This is an original, and see here it is. It's $3.33. And so I hope you enjoyed that little snippet from the halls of incense and crystals, and who knows what they're doing there. What is that? Yay, can I